Alright guys, today, back at it again, first video 2025, and I'm making a video on, hold up, just gotta do this real quick, Stanley Parable, Deluxe, the Deluxe one, that one thing, Ultra Deluxe Edition. Ooh, time, it should be 8:13. Wait, did I put PM or AM? Um, can I go back on that? It should be fine. Should be fine.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly.
What if it just does nothing? Just kind of presses the button.
Was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
Like, he just didn't have work. Like, there wasn't no work that day. That'd be silly.
He got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Ooh,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Probably. I don't know. Like I said, probably a Sunday. Ooh, what does that say?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ooh. You know what? I want to follow the narrator. And then... Is that the sky? Pretty bright sky.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you. Take it out on what? No. Go back. I was reading. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic. Hey, it's calling me unique. I don't know if that's but like in what way? In what tone? Charts? Charts and slides? And slides. Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright. Whoa. Pretty snazzy place. To be rich, is it a crime? to commit crimes. Isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. What does this guy read? Time in extreme bathrooms. Extreme bathrooms! Probably this one. Well, I guess not. Oh, wait, what's on here? What does that say? Get over here. Business time. Indubitably. Okay. Oh. Oh, I can press that. Oh, no. Oh. The beige pages. The beige pages?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. What if I do in reverse? So it would be 2482.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Oh, it's 28. What? Am I tripping? I thought I put that in.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Where am I?
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Not fully built. What are you? Ooh, maybe there's something over here. No. Oh, that. Freaky. What is this place? Where am I? I wanna leave. It's too claustrophobic. Loading, 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 loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why
He's becoming self-aware. Get him!
For years, it had never occurred to him. This question would not go unanswered for long.
Anyhow.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I can do that later. What might this be?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Whoa.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This is what the government thinks TikTok has on us. This is what the government thinks TikTok has. This is how they steal your information. True story, real. Trust, for real. Ooh, cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
One said fired
Stanley's
over there.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
It just
nothing.
says fired. That one's static. Another one that's fired. Ooh, wait, where's me? I just realized that. Which one was I? I was like someone in the 400s, right? I don't know.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really
Oh,
been
even
under
my brain
someone's
didn't
control
click.
all this
Mind
time?
control facility.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Honestly, it doesn't sound too bad.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
Like,
accept it.
if you have a
His
boring
own
job,
life in someone
I guess
else's control? Never.
It'd be great
It
if
was
someone can mind control
unthinkable.
me to pretend
Wasn't
it's
it?
fun.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I think pretty much. Is it?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Is it literally Vector? Isn't this literally the lore for the one mobile game, Vector? On, off, on, off. Is that it?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Probably.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Oh, there it is.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Well, is this just kind of manifesting?
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
Come on.
No longer would anyone
go more
tell him
down.
where to go,
Please.
what to do, or how to
I
feel.
want to leave.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And
Where
that was
is this?
all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation,
and it's all a lie.
The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Or was he? Oh, trophy. Beat the game. Never. Wait, what did I say? And it's never.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Now
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, I don't follow this guy's rules. I'm not following the rules.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Wonderful. Anyways.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Whoa.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Hey. That was very nice. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Do I not follow that instruction either?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm
not
your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone
kinda
else can be
insulted me,
difficult, but the fact is that
saying
the
that
story has been about
you weren't
nothing but
you're
you
surprised that I
all this
wasn't fired a while
time.
ago.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
For her?
To put your work
Whoa, what was
aside.
that thing?
To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What? And more Stanley lore? What's going on with Stanley? Where am I? Where am I?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your...
Alright. Hello? Who's this? Where am I?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Baking
okay,
bread?
There we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your damn.
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
What?
Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Ouch.
Who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come
I
inside.
want to see this narrator
Let me show
dead.
you what's really going on here.
I want to see him burned to ashes.
This is a very sad
Wait,
story
I could run
about
away.
the death of a man named Stanley.
What?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Excuse me?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now
No, I'm not.
he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Nah, I won't press it anymore. In fact, pressing up. Wait, do I have to press it? Maybe I can crouch.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
I'm not crouched like
fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
all
And
right.
so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk
So
to
now you're watching
realize
TV?
that all of his co-workers, his boss,
I'm not watching TV.
everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
That is annoying.
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
This guy
The
stopped
mere thought that
yapping.
his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Let me leave. Prepare for dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind
I'm gonna
controls.
have cabinet with a
Down
side
another
of
was
a
a
cardboard
yellow line
box.
that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby, and he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again,
Let me
and
leave.
again, over and over,
I wanna
wishing beyond
leave.
hope that
I
it would
wanna
never
leave.
end, that he might always feel this free.
Please.
Surely there's an answer
me
down
go.
some new path.
Let me
Mustn't
go.
there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
What
In
wife?
reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets.
say anyways.
The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this. that in this world he can never be anything but an
I
observer.
don't want to go back to my
that
office.
As long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
No.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
I can hear him monologuing to himself.
Maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay, that was freaky. Gulp.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Why is that on? Particular how indirigibles. Wait, where am I going with this? Ooh. What? Can I, strange.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I guess it can. Looks pretty nifty.
Yet there was not a single person here
Tips
either.
on not getting fired.
Feeling
Top
a
left.
wave
Do
of
believe,
disbelief,
do
Stanley decided to go up to his
believably
boss's
amazing
office,
work.
hoping he might find an
Oh,
answer
man.
there.
Broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Is that radioactive?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
Wait, what if I stay here?
No reason to still be here.
I want to stay here.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Yep.
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yep.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yep.
Standing around doing nothing? Why?
Because
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
it's fun. You can just see all the polygons. You've got a
You do
low of the
realize there's no
polygons.
choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Then why could I
never
open
would have
it?
thought to mention it.
Then why could I open it? Never thought of that.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh,
What friends?
Did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Like I said, what friends?
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only
too.
got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Real. Real. For real.
Well, I've come to a very definite
Heading in that
conclusion
momentous
about
scene.
what's going
Yeah.
on right
I can't
now.
put down the cup.
You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you
What?
collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone
is,
nearby
like, Micah weird?
so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the
Yep.
long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of
I'm in a video
narrative
game?
tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Never. Ooh, maybe there's something to interact now. The pipes. It's always the pipes. It's always the pipes, I say. Never mind. This. The broom. We just call it a broom closet. Hold on. I'm convinced to leave now. Hold up. I'm convinced that there's actually gonna be nothing here. Oh well.
Ah, second player.
Nope.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase,
No, I'll go
Stanley walked
downstairs.
upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive
Might I
economy,
be?
why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously
probably.
out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
Indeed.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did
Whoa.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No,
Wait a
Stanley
minute.
said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion
before.
that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
It must be a dream.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his
Oh.
job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself,
There
I
before?
suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley
Look at all the
marveled that he had
stars.
still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's
These
head.
are probably just
One
dust
he was
particles.
amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was
Hey, wait a minute.
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's
Your voice is in
describing
my
my
head.
thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth
Probably.
was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is
Probably.
as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Indeed.
After all, he
I'm
knew for
pretty
certain,
shocked.
beyond a doubt,
I'm
that this was in
flabbergasted.
fact a
I'm
dream.
bamboozled.
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He
Gotta-
felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he
I
thought to
wanna
himself.
wake up.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons.
I wanna push
Please.
buttons.
It's all I
Please.
want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Well,
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
where am I?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh,
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up
New
on a day
character?
like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself,
What?
and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension,
Oh.
the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Did she call the police though? Am I just dead? Did I seek no medical attention?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yellow. Oh, wait. Doors. Doors.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Absolutely.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Yeah, well. Ooh, that thing is on. I want to get over there.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
I don't. Were you on like a bit ago? What happened to that? There's a box. There's boxes. There's... That didn't change the input. Oh, you gotta check every door. There's gotta be the painting. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Meeny, miny, I want...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Nope. I'm seeking trophies. That shining gold.
Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, sure.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
What are you, though? I wonder what this is.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
I'll go right. Oh. No options this time?
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Can't you go back the other way?
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
I don't know, man. Looking kind of suspect.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
No.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
No.
From the top.
I don't want to go back. Where am I?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You turn that off. You never know. Turn you off. Turn you off. Didn't you have the thing on you? I'm sure that one had the thing with a computer and the input. One of these had it. Do they not have it anymore? Am I tripping? Am I being hoodwinked?
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Wait,
No,
what?
no, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Exactly.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Spooky. Is this it? Am I... Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself. Alright.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely
Tell me about
was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Hey, wait, I never agreed to this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Why are you looking over there?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Those doors are open. They're open. I'm letting this guy do his thing anymore.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Scary. Why is there just like a ladder there? What have I missed? What?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
Ah.
The story. Here it comes.
Where am I?
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh dear. Oh
Now
god.
this...
Oh man.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
Where is
I don't
this?
think so.
Where
I
am I?
can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember,
think
Stanley?
so.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
I won!
I know you
Yippee!
put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Thank you.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
Me neither,
We both
honestly.
know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square,
That's
and
a
this
little
was
too
not
harsh.
one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
I mean, it keeps getting worse.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Ooh. Sounds a little suspect, honestly. What's in here?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay. Now I understand. Or here. Oh. Yippee.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's
Well,
over
I'm
in
supposed
this
to go.
direction. Onward, Stanley.
It's very
to
important to
destiny.
sorry. Trust.
Nope. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Exactly.
Well, I'd like to
I don't know what
apologize.
you're yapping about.
Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Spook the hell out of me. This just sounds like copyright free music all over. Huh. Financial records! Corporate imbalances.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that
Finally.
fern.
Fern?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. Don't miss anything.
Alright, I remembered the taste, the smell, and the looks.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Huh?
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after
Oh, I just
everything we've
realized
been
it's
through,
trademarked.
You... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
The Stanley Unbearable
You know
Line.
what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't
Maybe.
we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh. Huh. So that's what's in this door.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley
I
forging
guess.
a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I want a horror. I want a horror game. That'd be fun.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Like it doesn't exist.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And
Right,
since
it's always
the answer is
right.
clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
Really?
And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
The
So now,
narrator's
according to
gone
the
after a
schedule,
long
I
time.
restart
Stanley
again.
dies?
Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this
What?
this thing. wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
At some
Well, in the meantime, if you...
Okay, I know I said I wanted a horror game, but that's just gonna spook me out.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh my, I have... No, the problem is...
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I could either go in that thing, or I can go over there, or I can take this route.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Wait, what?
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Am I still in the loop, or like what's happening?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Indeed, I did.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Okay.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Now then. Ooh, wait, doors. What's this? What if I, huh. That's business strategy. Yo, business strategy. Wait, that's a strategy. Strategy. Yes. Where am I going? Boom, 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 boom. I think this one. Am I hearing something? No, I'm definitely hearing something. My forehead. I'm going up, right? What's up? Pointless? Weird.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he
Indeed.
didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Too
That
bad.
kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
It was pretty relaxing, not gonna lie.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into
Open the gate! Okay. That was indeed pretty fun. Go down, I say. Triumph to victory! Pretty please.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
I'm
Mind
gonna do my own
Control
thing.
Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Huh?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Probably do. Honestly.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. I'm facing death head on. Yippee! Am I still going?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley
Exactly.
can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking
Wait,
the
what is this
eyeballs
even
from a
for?
blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Cool.
Farewell, Stanley.
Wait, am I ready?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous
Narrator
metal jaws.
2?
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When
a nice
every
place.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Credits. What is all this? Where am I? The elevator thing? is the path to head forward.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design.
Where were
textbook
all of his co-workers?
It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively.
They're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button
and
pushing.
bad game design. But of course, you being you.
Weird. Your brooms. How do I escape?